Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome along to this IC Markets webinar, the Foreseen Future for Forex. And my name is Chloe. I'm with Trade with Precision, and I'll be with you for the next hour or so, going through the Forex markets and having a look at what we can see happening and what might be good to have on a watch list moving forward. So, before we get started properly, I'd like to give you a couple of moments to have a read through this risk disclaimer slide. So take a look at this slide, make sure you agree with everything therein, and then we can get started properly with the webinar. Okay, that should be enough time to have read through that. So welcome along, everyone. Fantastic to have you here. And as I said, my name is Chloe. I'm with Trade with Precision. A little bit of background about myself. I am a trader. I trade predominantly, I'm based in London. I trade predominantly Forex, commodities, indices, and other leverage markets as well. I'm predominantly a technical trader, so I would say 90% of my decision making in my trading is based on technical charts as opposed to fundamentals, although I do, of course, take into account fundamentals when necessary. Most of us that trade with precision are technical traders and mainly trend-based or momentum-based traders. So that is what I will be focusing on today. We will be looking at the Forex markets, working out whether there are any trends, and if so, where might there be opportunities for us and what we can see happening. So the agenda for today, please do drop a message in the message box that you can see the screen okay and hear my voice okay. That would be really helpful if you could do that as well. And as we go through the webinar, I'd like to keep this session interactive. So you know, I have put together a watch list of currencies that I'm looking for, and obviously we're going to look at the majors as well. But if towards the end there are any currencies or any markets that you particularly want me to take a look at, then please do drop that into the message, into the chat box, and I will be more than happy to take a look at those for you if we have time at the end. Thanks, Steve. Fantastic to have you. Hi, Sean. Brilliant. All right, so the agenda for today, we are going to be looking at some recent movements in the Forex markets. We're going to do a live chart analysis on all major currency pairs, and we're going to look at a watch list of favourable Forex pairs. So as I said, I'm going to start off with the major currency pairs, but I do also have a watch list of other currencies that aren't necessarily major currencies, or not the major crosses anyway. I've got some other crosses to have a look at. And as I said, if you do want me to take a look at others, Steve, I will get to pound CAD, absolutely. And anything else you want me to look at, then please just drop it into the chat box. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to take you through to the charts. Bear with me while I get that screen up. Okay. So you should have my charts up, and starting off with euro dollar, probably the most traded, or in fact it is the most traded currency pair out of all of the Forex currency pairs, the euro against the US dollar. So starting off with this one then, I'm going to take it up to the monthly time frame just so that we can see this is an important area that price is sitting at just now. There's a strong level of support around this 1.05 area, and that level has not really been traded much below for quite some time. So we can see that that has not really been broken below since all the way back in 2003. Yes, it has dipped below there, but there is definitely a strong level of support. And in fact, we can see support all the way back to the late 1990s as well on that level. So the fact that price is sitting at this level, it doesn't necessarily mean I can't trade it. I'm very well aware that this level is here and could act as support. The longer a level has been acting as a level of support or resistance, the stronger that level might be, and therefore the more likely it might be to act as support again in the future. So one of two things could happen around this area. Either price could bounce from the level or it could break the level. And it's our job as traders and as momentum-based traders to take advantage of whichever situation materializes and to be prepared for that. And the reason that I'm starting off with Eurodollar, not only is it the most commonly traded, but because it sits at this level, it's of great interest to me. Because looking at this chart here, I can see that last time price was at this level, back between 2015 and 2017 down here, it was actually in quite a range for some time, for a couple of years, ranging between this 1.05 level, and there's a level just slightly higher up here at 1.16. I say slightly higher up, quite significantly higher up. Obviously, we're looking at a monthly time frame here. So if price bounces at this level, my plan would be to plan for price to move up to that next level of that next major level of resistance at the top of what was a range there. So there is that level there at 1.16. The next level above there, which is the larger overall range that price has basically been in since 2015 all the way up to this year, really, this higher level at 1.23 or thereabouts. You can also see from this monthly time frame how strong of a level that is, that 1.23, because we've seen support from all the way back in 2008, 2010, 2012. So that's a strong level as well. So if price bounces long from where it is now, then I'm looking for it to reach certainly up to the midpoint, which is around 1.16, potentially even higher up to the top of this range. Now, bearing in mind this is a monthly time frame, on a daily time frame, that is actually a really decent distance, and there could be plenty of opportunities to trade this long once an uptrend gets established. So if price is going to bounce at this level, and you can see here that currently on the daily time frame, it certainly looks like the momentum to the downside has ended for now, because we've got this double bottom pattern here in price action where we've actually got a slightly higher low here. And for that reason, the momentum appears to have ended for now, and there is every chance that price could actually move up from here. And if it does that, if it gets past this previous high level here, which so if we call this a double bottom pattern, this would be considered the neckline of that pattern, the high in between those two bottoms. So if price does make it above that level to give us a higher high, then I would be looking for a pullback potentially back down to this level here, 1.08 or thereabouts, and then I would start to look for long opportunities. And the potential rewards there, if price makes it all the way up to the top of the kind of medium-sized range there at 1.16, are significant, but even more so if it makes it up to the top of the range there at around 1.23. So that's one of the things that I'm looking out for at the moment, is a return to the uptrend in the short term. I'd like to see a higher high above this point here. Let me just see if I can really clarify that for you. So there's the low, there's the high, there's the second low, so that's the double bottom there, and then this is the high I'm looking to break. So I'd like to see price come up here, retest this level, and then I'd be looking for trend potentially up to there, and I would like to trade long in that case. Now, the other thing that could happen, let me just quickly go back down to the monthly time frame. monthly time frame here. So we've got this strong level of support here at 1.05. If price, instead of the momentum to the downside ending, if it's just on a pause, ready to continue, and if price breaks below this level, then I would be expecting some strong momentum to the downside, because that's a strong level to break. If it really truly breaks below that level, then I would be anticipating a strong move to the downside, and I would like to take advantage of that as well. Personally, I think it's more likely that we find support here, but of course, it this chart is based on dollar strength. So the US dollar at the moment is very, very strong, and that dollar strength could continue. So this could be just a pause in that. If dollar strength continues, euro weakness continues, then there is every chance that this level could break to the downside. And all that I would actually need to wait for, I don't even really need to wait for much. I need to wait for a break of this level here. So 1.05 is my horizontal level of support, but I need, in order for me to be convinced that that's truly broken, I need to see a break of this these two lows here. That would mean I would have a lower low. Then I would wait for confirmation. So I'd be waiting for a break of that level, and then I'd be waiting for confirmation by a retest, and my retest would most likely be of this area here. That's the point at which I would like to consider getting in short if price is going to continue to the downside. In terms of a downtrend, I can see everything else in place. I've got the moving averages pointing downwards. So downtrend, I have less to wait for. If I'm waiting for the break to the upside, I'm going to be waiting a little bit longer potentially, but I'm happy to do so given the potential returns, the potential reward to risk on that. So moving on then to cable or pound against the US dollar. Again, looking to the monthly time frame just to show you that we are at these fairly historic lows. So price has not traded below this level here for as long as the chart goes back, certainly. I mean, it has traded, but it has not properly traded below this level. This dip below in 2020, that was the beginning of the coronavirus pandemic, and there's a spike below there, but we can see that the horizontal support lies at 1.2. 1.2, that's a very, very significant level, both in terms of technicals and a psychological level as well. So the chances of price getting below that level, I would say, are quite slim, and we've had a strong reaction. Price has come down to that level, and we've recently had a strong reaction to that level. Currently, I still see a downtrend in price action. So still seeing lower highs and lower lows down here, lower highs, lower lows. However, in terms of momentum, it's possible that the momentum of this downwards move could be over. Look, the MACD that I've got here, one of the momentum indicators, that is showing divergence, strong divergence there, and the RSI as well, showing strong divergence. So while we have lower lows in price action on this chart, we have got higher lows on the MACD, higher lows on the RSI. That's showing strong divergence, which is giving an indication that price could actually come further up. So this is a chart that I don't believe it is going to get beneath this 1.2 level. I believe it's more likely that we'll see some kind of higher low at this point, and then a move to the upside. So that's what I'll be looking out for. Whether that's tradable on the daily time frame or not, I'm not yet sure, because there is less of a clear-cut range for me to trade on this one. Let's go back to the monthly. There is a lot of potential support and resistance within this range. So I've got to be very cautious about that as price moves upwards. Certainly there may be trend trading opportunities to the upside if I start to see higher lows and higher highs, and if I start to see price moving above all of these moving averages here, then that's what I'll be looking for. So it might just be a case of being a bit patient on this one. I'm not saying it's impossible for the 1.2 level to break, and certainly if it does, I'm definitely going to be interested in trading that to the downside, but I think more likely I'm going to have to exercise a little bit of patience and see if an uptrend can establish from this point, because it certainly looks like momentum has slowed down and it is over for now based on the MACD and the RSI divergence there. Moving on then to dollar Swiss. Now dollar Swiss really is not showing me much of a trend on this daily time frame. So hang on, let me just check the questions. I don't want to move on too prematurely. Okay, so in cable, how would I get confirmation that an upward trend has started? Brilliant question there. How would I get confirmation? Well, for me, the very, very simplest definition of a trend in price action would be, an uptrend would be higher lows and higher highs, and a downtrend lower lows and lower highs. So overall what we see here is a downtrend. I can see lower lows and lower highs overall. And still to this point here, if we call this a high here, then that is a lower high. So there is still the potential for this 1.2 level to break, give me a lower low, and the downtrend may continue. But in answer to your question, what do I need to see in order for an uptrend to be established? Well, I need to see a higher low and a higher high. So here I've got a lower low. That's no good to me. I need to see a higher low and a higher high. It doesn't have to be in that order. It could be a higher high first. So price could come up here, break above this high, then give me a higher low at this point here. I would have a higher low and a higher high. That would be enough for me to establish that an uptrend in price action has started, or it could be a higher low first, followed by a higher high. Now, that's what I need to see in order to see that an uptrend is established. In order to trade that uptrend, I of course need to see my strategy set up. And my strategy is not going to set up on the daily time frame until price is actually above at least these three moving averages. This is my 10, 20, and 50 moving average. It doesn't matter a huge amount whether they're simple or exponential. I tend to use exponential more. But so price for me, not only would I have to see a higher high and a higher low, but I'm also going to have to see price move above these moving averages and likely come back and retest in the area of the moving averages before taking off. So the answer to the question, when is an uptrend established, is slightly different to when would I actually trade it. But the uptrend will be established once I see a higher low and a higher high. In which time frame? Good question. In which time frame would I look for that higher high and higher low? I would be looking on the daily time frame. For an uptrend to be established on the daily time frame, I need to be looking at that daily time frame. Now, if we were to go down a time frame, let's go down to the hourly time frame here. Now we can see that actually on the hourly time frame, an uptrend has started to establish. I've got higher lows, higher highs. This is a lot of consolidation here, but a continuation would then give me further higher lows and higher highs. And you can see here how actually price has come from beneath all the moving averages over here. And then I've started to see higher low, higher high. That establishes my uptrend. Once price is above the moving averages, that's the time at which I start looking for long trading opportunities. So an uptrend on an hourly time frame is going to establish a lot sooner than an uptrend on a daily time frame. All that I would say is when we're looking for a major change in trend, I prefer to wait for my daily time frame to lead. Yes, it does mean that I don't necessarily get in right at the bottom of the market, and I do have to spend a lot of time just being patient, but my most successful and highest reward to risk trading comes when I'm trading in the direction of the daily trend. This is personal choice, guys. I'm just telling you what I personally do. Now, if you're an intraday trader and you want to trade intraday trends, then yes, absolutely, that is possible to do on a lower time frame. And bearing in mind, we've just bounced from a major support level 1.2, and we see strong divergence on the daily time frame. I don't think it's necessarily too premature to start trading this on a lower time frame if you see a strong established trend. Hopefully that answers your question. Let me just double check. I think I might have missed a question somewhere along the line. What is my stop loss placement in the double bottom on the euro? Let me go back to the euro quickly for that. So your question, I think, is assuming that I'm trading this double bottom pattern, and actually I wouldn't trade the double bottom pattern on a daily time frame. So when you're talking about the double bottom on the euro, which is down here, there's the one bottom, there's the second bottom, and then this is my neckline. So perhaps you're saying, if I were to trade the break of the neckline, where would my stop loss be? Well, in answer to that, my stop loss would be below the lows here. But actually, in reality, I wouldn't be trading the double bottom pattern. I would be waiting for price to break above here, and I would be looking for a retest of this level. I would then be looking at the candlesticks. So around this area here, I would be looking, price would be coming down, candlestick by candlestick into this area. I would then look for a bullish candlestick around this level. Now it could be a something like a hammer, just a single candlestick, or it could be just a bullish candlestick after a bearish one down here. I'd be looking for some kind of bullish candlestick. I would then place my entry at the top with a stop loss at the bottom. And you can see by waiting for the break and the retest of this important level, yes, I have to be more patient, and I'm going to have to wait several more days for the trade to set up. But an entry here with a stop loss here gives me a much higher reward to risk up to that next level there than an entry here with a stop loss there. Sorry, that's not very well drawn, a stop loss there. That would only really just give me about a 1.5 to 1 reward to risk. Whereas this option here is giving me a 3 to 1 reward to risk. So waiting for the break and then confirmation and going candlestick by candlestick is giving me a better reward to risk, even though I have to be more patient for that. Let's move on to dollar CAD. Now, dollar CAD, again, this is not showing me too much of a trend. Dollar CAD tends to be a very, very rangy currency pair anyway. Let's go up to the monthly time frame, where we can actually kind of see what's going on. We're towards the top of this area here. There's a level of potential resistance here. It's been support as well, around 1.3. So again, we're near that level. Price could break higher. It could come to the downside. If it comes to the downside and this level here holds, then I'm looking for it to get eventually towards the bottom here around 1.2, this area here. If the level breaks, then eventually I'd be looking for it in the shorter term to get to around 1.35 around here, eventually up to 1.4. But if we take it down to back down to the daily time frame, I can see that actually it's very difficult right now to ascertain whether this 1.3 level is going to break or bounce. Right now it's bouncing. This 1.3 level is holding, and much the same as the euro actually. I can see instead of a double bottom, it's a double top. A double top has formed here. It's a very wide neckline though. There are the two tops, and here is the low in between those. That's a massive range there. So that in itself is not really tradable, nor can I really use it to give me any kind of direction. So dollar CAD at the moment, I'd say I'm not really trading. I can't trade it short here because of all of this potential support, all of this congestion here, so much support and congestion because it's such a rangy currency pair to trade. Now, if it were to break higher and I were to get a higher low at this point and then higher highs above here, then I would consider trading that long. But as things stand, I'm not really trading. I'm waiting for it to break higher. If that happens, then I would like to take opportunities to the upside. But if price comes down here, I would say in all honesty, I wouldn't be particularly interested in trading it short until it gets beneath this level of congestion here. So that's dollar CAD. Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar, this is the monthly time frame here just to show you this strong level here at around 0.7. So that's a major level of support. It goes all the way back to 2005, in fact, even further back than that. And price is just currently dipping below that. So let's go to the daily time frame to really see what's happening there. Price has actually got below this 0.7 level. That's quite important and quite significant because we can see how that level has been respected right back here this year, last year, and back to 2020 as well. So that level has been respected. That level has been broken down. The first time it broke down, price came right back up above the level. But this time, price has broken down beneath the level. It's come back up, but it's closed a couple more times beneath this level here. So it looks like price is sticking down here for now. And again, all I need to see here is trend. So all I need to see right here, I've got a slightly higher low. So what I need to see now is a lower low, a pullback, and then I'm looking for short opportunities there. And again, I'm looking for those short opportunities based on the candlesticks. Alternatively, of course, again, because I see bullish momentum on the MACD, bullish momentum on the RSI. So there is a chance that this could be a false break of this 0.7 level and price could come back up here. Now, if price does come back up above the level, I need a higher high above this point here. And then potentially, if an uptrend starts, then I will look to trade that and potentially look to trade that up to this previous high area here or even further up to that next level of resistance. So there are a couple of things that could happen. There's a lot of either or analysis going on here. And it's because a lot of my trading on currencies at the moment is just sitting waiting for something to happen. Because I think a lot of people are sitting waiting for something to happen. There are exceptions, and I'm getting to those. Don't worry, there are things that I am actively trading rather than waiting for at the moment. On to Kiwi Dollar. Now, Kiwi Dollar, again, it's at a fairly significant level of support right now. But really, for me, it's in a pretty strong downtrend. That's the monthly time frame, and I'm seeing lower highs and lower lows on the monthly time frame. Weekly time frame, similarly, lower highs, lower lows. We can see there's a strong downtrend on the weekly time frame. MACD and RSI are helping to confirm the momentum there. And on the daily time frame, also, I've got a very similar pattern to on Australian dollar. It's a slightly lower low, but on this daily time frame, I'm seeing divergence now. So the momentum on the daily time frame appears to be coming to an end for now. but I will be perfectly happy to trade this short, especially again, as with Aussie dollar, especially if that level breaks there. If that level breaks where this double bottom area is, then I'm going to be really strongly looking for further short opportunities. Now, again, if this is the end of the downtrend, then all I need to see is a higher low, followed by a higher high, and price action above these moving averages here. And then I'll be looking for long opportunities. So again, either price is going to come down and break this area, in which case I'll be looking for a trend continuation to the downside. One thing that I am pretty interested in is actually Aussie Kiwi. I've had my eye on this for quite some time because it's broken up above this significant horizontal level at 1.1, and it's still just about sitting above that area. Now, on the daily time frame, this is actually a deeper retracement than I would have liked. So it looks to me more like price could be entering some kind of range here. It's entirely possible that price could be entering some kind of range. That range could be tradable on a lower time frame, though, such as the 4-hourly or hourly. It could also be a turning point because this retracement, I'm going from this previous low here, and this is almost 100% retracement. I mean, it looks to be about 85–90% retracement. So that's a deep retracement. I was, this time last week, I was looking at this and really looking in this area here. Price has broken above here. This is a nice retracement. This is a much shallower retracement and a turnaround. So I was looking for that to continue. The fact that that has not continued and it's in fact retraced further makes me think now that there's a possibility for this to start a downtrend. And if that downtrend does happen, Aussie Kiwi is another very, very rangy currency pair. And you can see here that this area here, the 1.1, this is the top of a pretty wide range. And so there is the possibility, every time prices previously reached this area or close to this area, over here, over here, over here, over here, it started a pretty significant downtrend. Okay, this chart is very scrunched up, but if we look at those areas, there are trading opportunities there. Now, I want to show you, I mean, trading in retrospect is very, very easy indeed. So, but I just want to demonstrate what I mean about this downtrend and then subsequent opportunities. What I would tend to be looking for is I would tend to be looking for price to pull back towards the moving averages, and then I would be looking for a bearish candle in that area. And that happens on each of these occasions that price pulls back these 9, 10 and 20 moving averages. And that's where I'd be looking for trading opportunities. So if that's to happen again, then all I need to wait for is, I do need to be patient because there's a lot of waiting. I need to wait for price to come back below this area, preferably below this low here would be my lower low, a pullback, maybe even to this level. Meanwhile, I need to wait for these moving averages to switch over, and I need price to be below the moving averages. It might even be another cycle. Maybe I won't get the trading opportunity until here. It doesn't matter to me because once the downtrend trend starts here, there's the possibility that it could come down towards this next level here around 1.02. So there could be several trading opportunities there, all of which could potentially be, reasonable reward to risk, 2 to 1, 3 to 1, that kind of thing. So it's potentially worth the wait. Yen, dollar yen, and most of the yen pairs, in fact, these are really, in terms of currencies, these are what I've been most heavily trading for the last few months. And as a trend trader, this is really important. As a trend trader, it is very important to not get hung up on trying to find trades where the market is not looking clear to you. So looking at, for example, let's go back to dollar CAD. That market there, that's not a strongly trending market, and it doesn't look particularly clear to me. So being an experienced trader doesn't mean that I can tell you where this market is going next with 100% certainty. Being an experienced trader means that I can tell you I am not going to trade this market because I can't see where it's going next. And I can't see my strategy setting up within here, and I can't see a trend. And my experience tells me that if I put my money into this market, I am more likely than not going to lose money. And if I'm going to make an income from trading and make a good income from trading and make an income that pays my bills and I rely upon, then I need to be more sensible than that. I need to be more professional than that. So the fact that I can't tell you where this market is going and that I'm not trading this is testament to the fact that I'm trading properly according to my trading plan and according to my beliefs in the market. Now, it is not my job to trade this market. It is my job to find a market that I can trade and trade that one. And markets don't trend 100% of the time. In fact, markets only generally tend to trend around 30% of the time. It is my job to plan for that. It is my job to analyze the market and wait for areas where trends may start, levels that might break in order to give me the start of a trend, and be prepared for that so that when it happens, such as on dollar yen, here was my level down here around 115. This is a horizontal level of resistance. This is also a consolidation pattern here that we can see. So it's an ascending triangle pattern. We've got preceding uptrend coming into this level, and then an ascending triangle pattern here where we've got higher lows coming into this horizontal level of resistance. It is my job to look at that market and say, that's a consolidation pattern. Price could break out here. If it does break out, I need to be ready for that, and I need to trade that. And I need to trade that to death, because this could be one of my only chances this year to make significant returns. So on the daily time frame here, massive trend and several opportunities to trade that. Here's one, here's another one. Those are the only really two clear opportunities for me on the daily time frame. But on a lower time frame, if I go down to, for example, the hourly time frame, and let's have a look at that. More opportunities here. Remember, I'm looking for pullbacks into the moving averages, and I'm looking for bullish candles within or close to that area. Once price gets beneath these moving averages here, I'm less interested. I have to wait for it to get back above. So here is another area. So what does that mean right now? Well, that means right now I'm looking for exactly the same thing. Here on the daily time frame, price is in an uptrend. Price has overtaken this previous high here. A lot of people, when they are trading trends, they tend to think, oh goodness me, price is overextended. This trend has been going on for so long, surely it's too good to be true, etc., etc. As a trend trader, it is my job to trade trends until they're over. And trends for me are not over until I see a technical reason for it to be over. Now, technical reason would be horizontal level of support or resistance. So in which case, this level here at 135, that's a strong level horizontal resistance. Not only is it a round number level, psychological level, we can see strong resistance back here, all the way back to the early 1990s, back to the early 2000s as well. Strong resistance. So last time price was at that level, there was strong resistance. The fact that that level has broken now is significant. So in terms of trading, price has just broken up through that level of 135. What am I looking for now? Well, I'll be looking very keenly at how today's candle ends. It could end as a, it could suddenly all come down and end as a bearish candle, in which case that for me would signify potentially rejection of that level instead of a break. But if price closes strongly, and especially if price continues up perhaps tomorrow, as long as things stay the way they are, i.e. strong, then I'll continue to look for long opportunities on lower time frames. On the daily time frame, I'm looking for perhaps a further move up, followed by a pullback, maybe even back down to this level, and then I'll be looking for a long opportunity around this area here. But on the lower time frames, for example, let me go down to the 4-hourly. 4-hourly, a pullback to this previous high area here, that could yield a potential opportunity. Hourly time frame is just starting to perhaps consolidate here. It still looks pretty strong. I'd need to wait for a pullback there on the hourly time frame as well. It could even be tradable on an intraday time frame. I don't personally tend to trade intraday. This is in my time zone. I'm based in London, so it's gone 7 p.m. So I don't tend to trade intraday after that time. So I personally wouldn't be trading this on an intraday basis, but that's not to say it's not tradable on an intraday basis. And I'd be looking for exactly the same thing. So pull back into the moving averages, small to medium-sized bullish candle around the moving average area, entry at the top, stop loss safely tucked below the low of the swing. On a 15-minute time frame, you can be a little bit more conservative with the stop loss, or one can choose to be a little bit more conservative with the stop loss, because you can get chopped in and out based on news and things like that. You've got to be a little bit more willing to take some losses. But dollar yen, I'm definitely still looking for long opportunities. Now, what other crosses are there that could show us long opportunities? Well, pound yen is also still in an uptrend, and it's just approaching these previous highs here. So let's look at the daily time frame. It's still looking strong. I've got this area here, these previous highs. Let me just mark that in. So these previous highs here as a potential stumbling block in terms of lower time frame trading, so hourly time frame. If I were to enter a trade on a pullback on the hourly, I would be looking for profit before this level here. But there is still potentially some opportunity to get into that on a lower time frame. In terms of daily trading, ideally now on the daily time frame, I'd need to see price take out this previous high, because if price on the daily now forms a high here, then that will be a lower high in an area that I've already seen resistance. That would put me off continuing to trade long. But if price does continue strongly through this area, then I'll be looking for intraday long opportunities on pound yen as well. Euro yen equally a very, very strong price action at the moment. It's taken out a significant horizontal level of resistance around this 140 level. That 140 level was significant resistance. Price has overtaken that level. It did bounce at that level previously, then it formed another higher low. It was taken out. So the uptrend there is still intact. On the daily time frame, this is similar to the pound in that right now I'm still bullish. it all depends what happens now. If a lower high forms here, then that will stop me from trading long for the time being. But if price continues upwards, and especially if this high is broken either throughout the course of the rest of today or tomorrow, then I'll continue to be looking for long opportunities on Euro Yen, and they could be on any of the lower time frames. So a pullback on the 4 hourly, a pullback on the hourly into the moving averages. In fact, the hourly is actually potentially setting up here. We've already seen a pullback, so there could be an entry up here with a stop loss below the low of that. It's a red candle, but it is actually a fairly bullish candle because it comes down and tests, attempts back down and fails, and price actually closes back towards the top of the candle. Just have to be slightly careful there, because I'm going to mark in this previous high on the daily time frame there. So if we look at that on the hourly time frame, we have to make sure we've got a good reward to risk. Now, I'm not saying that price is definitely going to stop at this high. Price is trending, and therefore it is likely, or it is quite likely, that the trend could continue and this high could be broken. But what I need to see is I a better reward to risk than this, or I need to trade conservatively and make sure that at the moment all I'm doing is heading towards this level. I could scale out half of my position at that level, which means if price comes back and stops me out, I'm break even. But if price does break that level, then I'm already in a trade. But I would be trading conservatively up here because of that previous high. Swiss yen, very, very strong at the moment. This is the weekly time frame, so we can see this previous high level over here around up towards 139, but it's 138.96 or thereabouts. That's the previous high. So price actually, if I go to the monthly time frame, look, price has actually never been higher than this before. So there isn't actually a level of resistance above price. There's no reason, no technical reason for me to stop trading this long. Right now on the daily time frame, if I were to trade on the daily, well, I would have to wait for a pullback into my moving averages. But on the intraday time frames, absolutely, I'm looking for long opportunities. Again, I have to wait for a pullback. We're away from the moving averages here, but this is most certainly high up my watch list for long trading. Aussie yen, not quite so bullish. It is still in an uptrend on that weekly time frame. The horizontal resistance is a little way away on here, so there isn't really any major horizontal resistance in the way of price right now, not until around this 100 level, major psychological level as well as technical around here. So in terms of daily time frame trading, yes, I am still interested in trading this long. All I would say is that there is this previous high level here. So that is the area that I'd be looking out for in terms of my intraday trading and my daily trading. So daily trading, really I need for price to pull back now before I can get in. Intraday trading, again, waiting for a pullback and remaining aware of this previous high level here. There is plenty of space to trade that on an intraday time frame before price reaches up to that level. So Aussie yen also an option on my watch list. CAD yen, again, weekly time frame here just to show you the levels. Now CAD yen actually is there is a horizontal level of resistance just here that CAD yen is heading towards. So this is one of the ones I'm a little bit more cautious about. That level is around 106.33 or thereabouts. and price is heading up towards that. That's the weekly time frame. So there is still a little bit of space on the daily time frame, but not a lot. So what's going to be key here is price going to break through this level and form a higher high up here above this point, in which case I would then be looking for a pullback to the level and perhaps a long opportunity from there. Or is price going to hit its head at this level and perhaps form a similar high or a lower high, in which case I will have to press pause on my long trading on that for the moment. The last yen pair I want to look at is Singapore dollar yen. This is one of the ones that I'm most bullish on. Just having a look at these levels again, there isn't a technical reason to stop trading that long. There isn't any horizontal resistance above there, and strong uptrend on the weekly time frame, strong uptrend on the daily time frame, clear higher highs and higher lows. The momentum indicators, MACD and RSI, are showing convergence. They're showing bullish momentum indicators, and therefore on the daily time frame I'd be waiting just for a pullback into the moving averages. When I say a pullback, I don't just want price to pull back into the moving averages. I want to see the cycle continue. So much the same as this cycle here, I would want to see again. You know, so I don't just want to see a candle coming straight back down to the moving averages. I want to see more candles and then a pullback. In terms of intraday trading, I'm happy to continue looking for long opportunities, a pullback on the 4-hourly back down to around this previous high level here. So around here, pull back on the 4-hourly, that would nicely coincide with this moving average area here, and then I'd be looking for a potential long opportunity there. Alternatively, it could go down to the hourly, and again just look for a pullback into this area of moving averages and a bullish candle in order to potentially indicate a resumption of the uptrend there. Now, let me go back and see. It was pound CAD that you wanted me to look at, so I must make sure I get to pound CAD. I just wanted to quickly show you CAD Swiss. CAD Swiss because this kind of range that price has been in recently, this is the daily time frame. So we've got a double top there, that's the top of the range. The bottom of the range here, this is a level of support, and that has actually broken. Price has come down and it's currently retesting the underside of that horizontal level of what potentially now could become resistance. So this is an area that I'm looking for potential short opportunities. I can't trade this on the daily time frame because my strategy setup isn't there, but I'm willing to go down to a lower time frame to see if I can find a short opportunity around this area here. So I would need to see a strong bearish candle around this area in order to give me that opportunity. I don't see it yet, but I just wanted to point out that that's an area I'm looking at. Kiwi Swiss, kind of similar on Kiwi Swiss in that there is I'm not sure why my horizontal levels disappeared there, but I've got a horizontal level around this area here. We can see it's been support, support, resistance, resistance, support. So around this area, that level has broken. On the daily time frame, we can see here that the strong break below that level and price is potentially continuing down. Now I've got another level here where these lows are clustering here, and that's the start of this uptrend. So this area here is of interest to me, but at the moment I am bearish on Kiwi Swiss. And in terms of a lower time frame, I'm looking for a potential entry short on Kiwi Swiss. So let me finally just get to pound CAD. Let me just pop it from here. Pound CAD. Let me know if you had any specific questions about pound CAD, otherwise I will just give you my analysis here. So most important thing for me is to go to the monthly, draw my horizontal levels of support and resistance. So I've got a horizontal level here that was resistance, that has been broken. I've got another significant horizontal level of support down here. And I don't want to ignore, I'm going to go to the weekly time frame for this. The area that price is currently there is a band of potential support here. So I've marked in that previous low. I'm also going to mark in the lowest point, or the lowest point of the bodies of those candles there. On the weekly time frame. So that gives me my roadmap, and what's happening right now sorry about that. What's happening right now on pound CAD is that at the moment there's a higher high. So price was in a strong downtrend all of this time, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. Now there's a higher high. What does that mean? That means I'm no longer trading short. Does it mean there's an uptrend established? No, not yet. What I need is a higher low. Now a higher low could happen around this area, given that this is a level of support that we've just seen. So a higher low could happen, and in which case an uptrend could start. Now, if an uptrend starts, this horizontal level is important. I most likely would wait for that level to clear before looking for trades to the upside. But on lower time frames, if I were to trade this long on, say, an hourly or 4-hourly time frame, as long as I've got enough space for a good reward to risk, then I could trade long on that, as long as I see my higher low on the daily time frame. I would personally wait for this high at least to be taken out. So I'd wait for my higher low, and then I'd wait for price to get above this high. Then I would look for long opportunities potentially. Alternatively, if price doesn't form a higher low, and if it comes back down, ideally I'd want that level there to be broken. That would convince me that we're back into a downtrend, but it's not 100% necessary. I would certainly want this horizontal level here to be broken, this horizontal level of support, because we can see how price has kind of congested around this area recently. So I hope that covers pound CAD for you. In answer to your question, will this video be uploaded somewhere? It won't go onto YouTube. The videos are recorded, and I believe you should get sent a copy in your inbox, having registered for this webinar. I'm gonna give you contact details now for customer services. So bear with me in a minute, and all of those contact details for IC markets, you can ask them for any of these kind of technical issues. So if you do want the recording of this to be sent to you and it hasn't been done, then you can always get in touch and ask them to do that for you. So contact details here for IC markets. They've got a fantastic customer service team, so get in touch with them via email, or there's a phone number you can speak to them on there, and they've got all the usual socials as well, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. So it has been an absolute pleasure. I hope you have got a lot out of this webinar. Watch list for the coming days, if not weeks, And I really hope to speak to you at another webinar sometime soon. Please do make sure you register yourselves for more of these webinars. It'd be fantastic to have you come along. Cheers, everyone, and have a wonderful evening or day, wherever your time zone is, and I will speak to you soon.